Megan,
Nice.
how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, good to meet you. So we're here to talk about Bearbrick, right? I've actually followed these the Metacom toy series for a long time, which is like very surreal to get an email about something that like I followed passively and was like always wanted to collect, and it being turned to a children's show.
Yeah.
Um, you could you like give us a little bit of the premise for some of my viewers about what Bearbrick entails?
Sure. So this is a show about this character, Jasmine. She's a Bearbrick, and she lives in the town of Vinylville. And in this world, when you graduate from high school, you're painted to be whatever it is that you're going to be when you grow up, and you don't have a choice in the matter. And you're usually painted to be something that your parents were. But
Oh,
Jasmine desperately wants to be a singer-songwriter. That's never going to happen in this world. And so she realizes with her friends who share a similar dream that if the world's going to change, they're going to have to change it. And so they form this secret band, the Brushstrokes, and start to change the world with their music.
absolutely. And it's such a fun message. I find it to be very, very nice and topical. There's like this weight of like, oh gosh, what am I going to be when I grow
Yeah.
up, when I'm, the end of high school? Like we could ever decide that.
Yeah.
What do you think that moral, that sort of narrative does for young viewers out there to tell them that they can pursue whatever they want?
Yeah, I mean, it was really important to me that we have a message with this show, and this one felt so inherent to the concept of Bearbrick, where with the collectible, how they're painted becomes, what makes them special and interesting and all
Absolutely.
that. So it just felt so connected to that as a message. And so, yeah, I hope viewers feel really empowered and feel connected to these characters and do see themselves in their own sort of plight in that and come to see like, oh, I can make my own decisions. I can find my own voice. And it's never too late to do that either, I think is a little bit of the message of the show, that you have older characters who have followed this path and sort of realized, oh, this isn't really who I wanted to be or what I wanted to pursue. It's not too late for me to give that a try.
Yeah, and I like that too. There's something for the older viewers, some big
Absolutely.
grown-ups in the
Yes. I
room.
want it to be for
Uh,
everybody.
Right, exactly. And so when you talk about something like intrinsic to the concept of like Bear Brick or intrinsic to like the
Mhm.
narrative, music played a huge role in the series, right? And you got like someone that me as an older viewer, I was
You
like,
did
what?
all right.
Timbaland? What? Can we talk about having a legend molding the music for the series?
Yes, it was incredible. DreamWorks had a relationship with them prior to this show, and when I was developing it, it came and said, "Hey, what about Timbaland?" And I was like, "Yeah." It took me a minute to respond because I was so amazed and shocked and in awe. And yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it was really important that you believe that this band was talented, deserved to have their music out there, and that the world would be missing out if they didn't get to do that. And so you bring in somebody who has their finger on the pulse, who has through generations created some of the most impactful, biggest hits ever. And have them, oversee things, and you're going to end up with music that lives outside the show as well. It works so well within the show, but it does feel like something you're going to want to add to your Apple playlist.
Exactly. Timbaland plays a large role in our household in a bunch of different playlists. But with the brush strokes, like they do a bunch of different things. Like it's mostly, like upbeat kind of like pop rock kind of deal. But
Yeah.
they do other works too, showing that they're not really painted towards one genre. Like, can you talk about how the brushstrokes songs sort of stand out? And like there's so many animated shows where music is a huge part.
Sure.
This is just how it works now
Yeah.
in animation. Because could you give us a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we wanted them to be a band that had something to say. So, the songs thematically speak to the larger ideas of the show without feeling like lesson songs. They still feel like songs you want to listen to and dance to and aren't like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So, that was really important. They're a new band. They're exploring their sound. They're figuring out
Hmm.
who they are. that evolution of a musician is something that happens in real life, and we wanted to see that. And we knew that it wasn't going to be a musical in terms of the kids just are walking down the street and breaking into songs about their feelings. That it was a band and there would be performance based, that there would be a little bit cheap in terms of the instrumentation and what we would sort of bring to it that isn't a straight up, drum, guitar, keyboard sort of sound. We knew we wanted to build on that, but still have it feel like they were a real band. And I think that's what they feel like. So I think that really differentiates from other shows. Is we've made a band. This is a band. We can take them on tour.
Is there play? I hope there's plans for that.
Yeah. You'll have to ask Apple about that. But all our talent is pretty incredible. So
yeah. I guess I got time for one more. You got Gina and Shirley handling the score. Bearbrick's such an expansive concept. How do you determine what their world sounds like? Because it can be anything.
Yeah, they were incredible because I like when for me, a score really is there to support the themes and the emotion of a scene. Sound effects are for comedy. Score to me is the emotional support of the scenes. And so it was really finding those moments of, selling the feelings that the characters were having or the stakes of the situation. And they were so good at doing that, but so great at pulling from a very modern palette, really feeding off of the work that was coming from Timbaland's, from the songwriting, and then incorporating that into the score. They were so great at that. So it doesn't feel like a, kind of a standard, oh, it's some violins when they're sad. It's like they really did a great job of creating this fabric of music that underlies the show.
Yeah, well, Bearbrick is delightful. Gonna recommend it to the younger viewers that I have in our family. And congratulations. This is
Thank you so much.
It's very rare to see an animated series. I'm like, I never thought they'd make an animated series out of that. And now, look, it exists.